This is not the game most of us know, a game played by children for fun. Most men in 1840 wouldn't even allow themselves to imagine playing a simple child's game. It took many years before men began to take pride in playing this game. Tyrus Raymond Cobb was born December 18th of 1886 to a proud mother, Amanda Chitwood Cobb, and father William Herschel Cobb. Ty grew up in Roston, Georgia, and soon fell in love with the game of baseball. From very early on, Cobb saw baseball as far more than just a game.
I loved the competition, the matching of muscle and wits. It was a joust and a challenge.
It wasn't long before a group of older kids noticed Cobb's talents and work ethic. He was soon playing for the Roston Reds. This was a local group of older boys who played in the league. Ty was called up one day when the team was short at shortstop. He had 3 hits and made no errors on 8 fielding attempts. He had found himself a new team. As Ty grew older, he became restless in his town league and wanted more from the game. Ty began to write letters to semi-professional teams hoping for a tryout. Then, in 1903 and 1904, he was offered a tryout with the Augusta Tourists if he paid his own way. Ty told his mother of the good news but was scared to tell his father. The night before Ty was going to leave, he broke the news to his father. William was reluctant to let Ty go out to the tryout, but finally gave in. Ty carelessly flew around the field in tryouts trying to show his talents. He earned a spot on the bench following the tryout. Although Ty never played a single exhibition game for Augusta in spring training, to his surprise, Ty started the first game of the regular season because of a player contract dispute. The player Ty started for was holding out for a signing for a better contract. Management decided to give Cobb a shot. He went 2 for 4 and started the next day. The next game didn't go as well as Ty did not get a hit. A few days later, Ty was let go when the older player signed. Before Ty would continue to pursue a career with the baseball, he decided to phone his father and seek his advice.
His voice was commanding as ever. I fully expected him to order me home, but he said,
"Well, if that's the case, what are you going to do?"
I fumbled, and then answered, "There's a job open with a team over in Anniston."
"Go after it. And I want to tell you one other thing. Don't come home a failure."
In giving me his blessing, his sanction of my quest for success in my hour of defeat, my father put more determination in me than he ever knew. I had shivers when I hung up.
Ty then followed a friend to Anniston, Alabama for another semi-professional team. Cobb made the team easily and soon competed for the batting title. It didn't take long for Augusta to realize the mistake they made and offered Cobb a starting position. Ty returned and demanded a raise the following season. By 1905, Cobb appeared content with remaining in semi-pro baseball, but his manager took him aside and told Cobb he could go down in the record books if he provided a little more focus on the game. On the night of August 8th, Cobb's mother mistook her husband for a burglar, accidentally shooting and killing him. When he returned from his father's funeral, Cobb learned his contract had been sold to the Detroit Tigers. Ty would begin his professional career and forever change baseball. As Ty entered the on-deck circle, he wanted to show the other team he was bigger than life. He timed the pitcher with 3 bats in hand. The pitcher was shocked, and the crowd was quickly drawn to who this new arrogant player was. This arrogant move seemed to work as the pitcher threw a pitch that Ty hit to the wall for a double. Ty's next at-bat seemed to be still in the mind of the pitcher as he drew a walk. As the season continued on, Ty's arrogance didn't seem to be paying off. He finished the season with a .240 batting average. Detroit saw enough promise to offer him $1,500 for the 1906 season. From 1906 to 1928, Cobb would never again bat less than .320. Ty began to build a reputation around the league, fans, and fellow teammates for not having any respect for anyone. From early on, Cobb was hostile with his teammates, to the point he carried a loaded pistol with him. This was because he was paranoid of his teammates. On several occasions, Ty even fought his teammates. One brawl with Charlie Schmidt erupted because Ty had slapped an African-American woman. Charlie saw people as equal no matter what race they were. Ty had already built a reputation for being ignorant towards African Americans. Ty never got along with his teammates throughout his entire career and often skipped spring training. Taking a look at how the league viewed Ty and how he viewed the league, Ty saw himself as only ever taking advantage of his opponent's weaknesses.
In legend, I am sadistic, slashing, swashbuckling deposit, a Draco of the Diamond, who waged war in the guise of sport. The men I went against didn't call me a dirty player. The charge has come from those who anointed with the critical powers developed through carrying a press card. The truth is that I believe, and always have believed, that no man in any walk of life can attain success who holds in his heart malice, spite, littleness towards his opponents. The competitor who comes armed with right in his heart and mind has nothing whatever to fear. The honorable way is the only way.
This, to be simply put, was what Cobb told himself to live with his actions on the field. Cobb admitted after retiring that.
I did retaliate. That I freely admit. If any player took an unfair advantage of me, my one thought was to strike back as quickly and effectively as I could and put the fear of God into him. Let the other fellow fire the first shot, and he needed to be on the qui-vive from then on, for I went looking for him, and when I found him, he usually regretted his act, and rarely repeated it. I command this procedure to all young players who are the aggressive type. The results are most satisfactory.
This is the Cobb everyone knew and disliked. This, however, is exactly what built Cobb. From taunting pitchers in the dugout, threatening to dive into players, and taking out catchers, Ty took absolute advantage of the other team to achieve the level of success he did.
The base paths belonged to me, the runner. The rules gave me the right. I always went into a bag full of speed, feet first. I had sharp spikes on my shoes. If the baseman stood where he had no business to be and got hurt, that was his own fault.
Ty took his style of game and arrogance to his grave and never expected to gain anything from anyone. As much as Ty Cobb was hated, he was also one of the greatest players to play the game. Ty still holds several records like highest lifetime batting average, most career steals of home, and most career batting titles. Ty changed baseball in a much greater way than people see. Since retiring from the league, we have not seen a single baseball player treat the game as he had. Players no longer dive into one another, taunt the opposition openly, and threaten fans. Cobb was a man from the South and saw himself as a far greater person than who he played beside.
I had to fight all my life to survive. They were all against me, but I beat them, and I left them in the ditch.